Bill O'Reilly here. You are listening to the O'Reilly Update, sponsored by Tax Network USA, America's #1 choice for tax resolution. Please go to tnusa.com/bill or call 800-245-6000. Coming up next, the news with Mike Slater.
Thank you, Bill. It's Thursday, May 9th, 2024. Here's what's happening today in America. MTG goes for it. Biden pulls aid, 30 years in prison, and disqualified from the race. That's all coming up. Then Bill's going to be here with your message of the day. But first, Marjorie Taylor Greene finally pulled the trigger to vacate House Speaker Mike Johnson. But that was immediately tabled by a majority of Republicans and most of the Democrats too. 11 Republicans voted with Marjorie Taylor Greene. 196 Republicans voted to table the motion, effectively killing it, along with 163 Democrats. The head of the Democratic Party said, even though we're in the minority, speaking of Democrats, we effectively have been governing as if we were in the majority because we continued to provide a majority of the votes necessary to get things done, which is kind of Marjorie Taylor Greene's point. She said Mike Johnson is ill-equipped to handle the rigors of the job that has allowed a uniparty to fuel foreign wars, trample on civil liberties, and increase our disastrous national debt. Joe Biden said he will not supply weapons to Israel if they invade Rafah. Rafah is the southernmost city in Gaza, right along the border with Egypt. An incredibly heavily fortified, impenetrable border with Egypt. They don't want any Palestinians in Egypt. Biden said, I've made it clear that if they go into Rafah, they haven't gone into Rafah yet. If they go into Rafah, I'm not supplying the weapons that have been used historically to deal with Rafah, to deal with the cities, to deal with that problem. A 34-year-old man in Idaho was in prison for at least 30 years after purposefully spreading HIV. I bring this up because one of my go-to California laws is a law passed by the now mayor of San Diego when he was a state rep that made it no longer a felony to knowingly infect someone with HIV. It's now just a misdemeanor. So in Idaho, this guy gets 30 years for knowingly infecting people with HIV. In California, he would get a max 6 months. A marathon runner was winning almost the entire race. It was only his second marathon he's ever run, and he's only been training for 4 months. But his happiness was short-lived. He was disqualified after the race because he took water from a family member during the race. That's cheating. You can't do that because you're getting aid that other runners are not getting. His dad was on a bicycle. He handed him a water bottle. He has his third marathon coming this fall. We'll see if he can win again without breaking the rules. I'm Mike Slater from the podcast Politics by Faith. The great Bill O'Reilly has your message of the day. Next.
If you own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles and have an auto warranty about to expire or have no warranty at all, listen up. Car Shield has a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that's now available to the public. Save on out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. So please call Car Shield now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. 800-925-7584 for a free quote. This protection plan is at an all-time low in price. Drivers who activate the vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. So please call for your free quote, 800-925-7584. 800-925-7584. Hey, what do you have to lose? 800-925-7584. Time now for the O'Reilly Update message of the day. On this Thursday, just as an American citizen, not a news analyst, I have to say that the courtroom presentation of Stormy Daniels was revolting. I don't know what Donald Trump did or did not do. I am certain, however, that after witnessing the testimony of this woman, my vote as a would-be jury person, not guilty. Even if you despise Trump, you should admit the testimony was garbage in, garbage out. Some might even believe Ms. Daniels should be the defendant. While researching my upcoming book, Confronting the Presidents, we found out that President Grover Cleveland had pretty much the same problem Donald Trump is dealing with. As a bachelor in upstate New York, Cleveland impregnated a woman named Maria Halpin, who birthed a son. That was in 1874. 10 years later, as Grover was running for president, Ms. Halpin was back, seeking money even though the child had been adopted. The ensuing lurid headlines almost cost Cleveland the election. Republicans running against Cleveland used this chant to denigrate him. "Mama, where's my pa? Gone to the White House, ha ha ha." Grover Cleveland tried to keep the scandal quiet and New York authorities left him alone. But that was then. Now we live in an appalling age. President Cleveland is the only chief executive ever to win 2 non-consecutive terms. Trump is trying to duplicate that. And he just might win again. Ha ha ha. I'm Bill O'Reilly. I approve the message by writing it. You can reach me, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, Bill at BillO'Reilly.com, name and town if you wish to opine. Now let's go to the mail. Charles, thanks for a lively interview with Congresswoman Gabbard. Most impressive and would make a great VP. You were right about aid to Ukraine. Putin already has taken Crimea and Georgia and has to be stopped. So that Vivek Ramaswamy is on the same level there. Jim Yasko, concierge member, we hope you check that out. Tulsi was a fantastic guest. You brought your A game in the interview. She's got my vote. I always bring my A game. When was the last time I brought my C or B game? Come on. Janet, concierge member, violence was not a big problem for Maxine Waters when she encouraged Democrats to, quote, get in their faces at gas pumps and the like. Very good, Janet. I forgot that. She was insightful there. Not insightful, but inciting. Lloyd, Stormy Daniels was able to tell her sordid story because the judge and Biden prosecutors don't care whether a guilty verdict is reversed on appeal, because the reversal would happen after the election. It's a good point. It's a valid point. Paul Masardi, Tampa, Florida. Greetings, Bill, from a long-time viewer. Shocking how effectively the American justice system has been weaponized. Collateral damage will harm all of us irreparably. I agree. I don't think the Justice Department's coming back, even if Trump's elected. John Shieldbroad, Phoenix, Arizona. What is the benefit of the Democrats funding the protesters? It's not the Democrats funding the protesters, it's the far left progressives. Democrats, they're getting hurt, and they know it. Elizabeth Treem, Blanchardville, Wisconsin. If you are not a citizen, are you entitled to a Bill of Rights? Yes. Once you get to American soil, Constitution applies to you, legal or illegal. In a moment, something you might not know. Your safety is important, and I am happy to introduce you to Burna, a self-defense solution that will help keep you and your family safe. Burna offers a powerful, non-lethal pistol with tear gas, pepper, irritants, and kinetic projectiles that disable attackers for 30 to 40 minutes. It's all legal in every state, and no background checks are required. And they ship directly to your door, very private. They are American-made in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and are trusted by U.S. government agencies and hundreds of police departments. If you are a gun owner, you need options. Avoid the complexities that come with taking a life and having to defend your freedom in court. And if you're adverse to firearms, Burna is a good alternative solution. So please visit Burna.com/Bill to receive a 10% discount. That's BYRNA.com/Bill. Stay safe with Burna. Now the O'Reilly Update brings you something you might not know. 75 years ago today, one of the most successful musicians of all time was born in New York City. By his 25th birthday, he would be known around the world as the Piano Man. Here's the story of my pal, Billy Joel. William Martin Joel was raised in Hicksville, Long Island, just about a mile from my childhood home in Levittown. He was steered toward classical music by his parents. Began piano lessons at age 4. As a teenager, he played in a few rock groups, then a heavy metal band called Attila. Well, Attila released one record. The artwork features Joel dressed as a barbarian surrounded by massive slabs of raw beef. It did not do well. Then Billy Joel put out his first solo album, Cold Spring Harbor, in 1971, but again, to little interest. His career, however, exploded 2 years later with Piano Man. For the next 3 decades, Joel dominated the charts with Just the Way You Are, Big Shot, Allentown, Moving Out. Racked up 30 hit singles, 6 Grammys, a Tony, and a Kennedy Center Honors Award. But his success did not come easy. In 1989, the Piano Man sued his longtime manager for mismanaging $30 million. The case was settled out of court, but Joel lost a bundle. And here's something else you might not know. While Billy is known around the world for his songs, he was once a respected boxer, winning a few bouts on Long Island. He put down the gloves for good after breaking his nose during a fight. If you look closely when he's on stage, you can see the damage to this day. But on his face, it looks pretty good. Happy birthday, Billy Joel. Back after this. Everything is expensive these days, you know that. The government is printing trillions of dollars and consumer prices higher than ever. If the government continues its printing and spending, the dollar could continue its free fall, but there are a few things you can do right now. American Hartford Gold can show you how to protect your money, your retirement, your hard-earned savings against inflation by helping you diversify a portion of your portfolio into physical gold and silver. Start with a short phone call, and they can have physical gold and silver delivered right to your door or put inside your 401k or IRA. So please call or text them right now. Tell them Bill O'Reilly sent you. Call 877-444-GOLD, 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Again, that's 877-444-GOLD, or text GOLD to 65532. Thank you for listening to the O'Reilly Update. I am Bill O'Reilly. No spin, just facts, and always looking out for you.